Persian Gulf, and we have done the same. Now we come to a name which started to be used lately. We, the Arabs, started to use Arabian Gulf and insist on it since the 1960s. Why? Because that time, until that time, all these Arab countries except Saudi Arabia were under British rule. And people felt they wanted independence, and they felt they wanted to feel that they are Arabs and independent from British rule. Also, they insisted since the 60s on this Arabian Gulf name because Iran claimed Bahrain and other places in this Gulf. They said Bahrain belongs to Iran. It's part of our territory. Then that's how came the insistence of the usage of Arabian Gulf, because before the Arab used Persian Gulf, they meant the Gulf towards Persia. But now the Persians are using the name for other purposes. They want to take this side of the Gulf because of its name. Then the Arab realized that they should not use Persian Gulf anymore. They started to insist on using Arabian Gulf. Now, in Saudi Arabia, we have no government decree that we should use Arabian Gulf. But people all over the Arab world can never accept the name Persian Gulf nowadays. Never accept it. Now, the problem, this is a rich region full of resources. There are many reasons for conflicts between countries bordering this region. We don't want additional reasons or cause for conflict. So very wisely, Gulf states, in fact, started to use, in some cases, the name the Gulf. Which cases? Cases which has contact with Iran, they started to use Arabian Gulf. Now, the Gulf, not Arabian Gulf, the Gulf. The Gulf because it's a short geographical name, and we know what is a geographical name, short, and because it is neutral. Also, it is a short. When I say it's a short, that means it's common to use the Gulf. The identical article, it means the Gulf you and me knows. If you say the Gulf in Iran, then it's the Persian Gulf. If you say the Gulf while you are in Saudi Arabia or any other Arab country, it means the Arabian Gulf. Like if I am in Saudi Arabia and say to my wife, I'm going to the university, she will understand I'm going to King Saud University. If you are in here and you say to your wife, you are going to the university, she will not think that you are going to King Saud University. She will think you're going to this university. So the definition article can help in this matter and make everybody happy. Okay? Now, in some organizations, the Arabs have been very wise to use the name the Gulf. First, we have to say that there is a big difference between Arab Gulf states and Arab states of the Gulf. If we say Arab Gulf state, that means you name the Gulf the Arab Gulf. If you say Arab states of the Gulf, that means you call the Gulf only, and this Arab is part of the states, describes the states. You got this? This is very important. Now, when the Arabs created the six of the Arab countries bordering the Gulf, all of them except Iraq, in fact, created the GCC, they called it Council for Arab States of the Gulf. Just notice the name. Council for Arab States of the Gulf. They didn't say Council of States of the Arabian Gulf. Can you see that? Can you notice this? The Arab came to describe the states, not to describe the Gulf. Why? Because you don't want to make it a controversial name for Iran, because then you need this council needs to deal with Iran. It's a neighbor country anyway, and it succeeded. Now this cooperation GCC consists of all our countries except Iran. Then another organization, Arab Bureau of Education for the Gulf States. Just notice the Gulf States. Then it's not Persian Gulf, the Gulf States. This organization have all the 7 Arab countries of the Gulf members in it. Here, Gulf Air. 3 Arab countries formed an airlines. Qatar, Bahrain, and Emirates. They called it Gulf Air. Why they called it Gulf Air? Because if they called it Arabian Gulf Air, Iran will not permit it to land there. With this name, it became very wise solution. The Gulf Soccer Cup. We have a Gulf Soccer Cup competition every 4 or 5 years. Includes all Arab countries on the Gulf. This is what supports the third name. Then I give you what are the reasons behind the name Persian Gulf, and I gave you what are the reasons behind the name Arabian Gulf, and I gave you what are the reasons behind the name the Gulf. In fact, only last week I was listening to the BBC World Service in English, and I realized that they are using now the Gulf, the name the Gulf. And this is very important because the English, more than anybody else, were insisting on the Persian Gulf. This is a big improvement to remove the Persian Gulf name and start to use the Gulf. At least we understand it as Arabian Gulf. This is okay. I think I explained this. But let me go through it again. The Arabs used the name, the Arabs, and not only the Arabs, the Turks also used the name of the Gulf of Basra. Basra is a major city south of Iraq. And it's in the direction of Turkey to the Gulf. And the Arabs also used the Gulf Al-Qatif. Al-Qatif Gulf. Al-Qatif is a major oasis, and now it's a major town in Saudi Arabia, on the western coast of the Gulf, on the Arabian coast of the Gulf. And the Arab used, as I have said, the Persian Sea and the Sea of the non-Arabs. They used this. But since the 1960s, as I have said, they felt very strongly for the name of this Gulf, and they insisted on the name Arabian Gulf. Certainly, they don't want to hear or read Persian Gulf. The name Persian Gulf. Now, what are the conclusions? I think I will leave the conclusion to you. I'm not going to conclude anything. I presented the information I have been able to collect on you, and you conclude whatever you want to conclude. But I can recommend, within the what I have collected, information I have collected, that in similar situations we have to deal with it wisely. Why? Because of this. Can I see the slides, please? This is the logo of the Arab Bureau of Education for the Gulf States. Before this. Before. Yes. Now, why I say we have to treat place names very carefully. Treat place names very carefully. Why? Because they can be a cause of misunderstanding, a cause of dispute, a cause of conflict. The extreme example I can think of is this example. The map is not very clear, but there is an independent state now. It used to be a former state in Yugoslavia, and it's here. It is Macedonia. It is called now the Republic of Macedonia. But Greece does not recognize this state. Greece is member of the European Union, and then European Union doesn't recognize this state. Then the United Nations, what does it call this state, independent state? It's called it the Republic, the former Yugoslavic Republic of Macedonia, not the Republic of Macedonia. Why? Because this part of Greece, this is the border between the Republic of Macedonia and Greece. South here is Greece, north here is Republic of Macedonia. This part of Greece here is called Macedonia. Now, Greece is afraid if this country is recognized with the name of Macedonia, then sooner or later it will claim that this part belongs to it because it carries the same name. So, there is one obstacle only against the recognition of the United Nations, or the European Union, or Greece for this country. The only condition, change your name, and we recognize you. I meant to bring this example because it shows very clearly how a geographical name can affect. Okay. Okay, next please. Okay, I think I can go back to the overhead so because my. Then, according to this, I say avoid conflict because of geographical names as much as you can. I say don't make the name a public issue, because the problem when you say in the media that we insist that nobody should use other name except Arabian Gulf and so on, you will be captive of this name. You cannot move to a compromise like say the word the Gulf or so on, because you excite the people more. They are already excited about the name. You don't need to excite them more about a geographical name. Why? Because as we have seen from the example of Macedonia, it can cause problems, international problems. Use your name. If the Arabs want to use it, to call it Arabian Gulf, use it of the place, in your media, in your publication, in communication. And internationally, use it with the people you are dealing with. You have, like the Gulf, Saudi Arabia or the Gulf states, they deal with many Western companies. Don't accept communication except with the name you prefer. Okay? Make the name you use not provocative. This is very important. Accept the fact that others may use different names for the same place. Remember that some geographical names may cause conflicts between neighbor countries. Thank you very much. Thank you.
예전보다 상당히 긴 시간 아브도 교수가 긴 프레젠테이션을 해주셨는데요. 사우디아라비아에서 여기까지 이 발표만을 위해서 오신 분입니다. 무슨 다른 지금 한국에 와서 무슨 다른 일을 같이 곁들여서 한다거나 무슨 다른 회의에 참석하기 위해서 온 게 아니라 오늘 이 발표를 위해서 여기까지 오신 분이기 때문에 제가 금방 끊을 수도 없었던 거를 용서해 주시고요. 여기 지금 참석하신 모든 분이 다 잘 알아들으셨겠습니다만은 그 중요한 것은 물론 이제 발표가 그 고유명사와 뭐 일반명사, 보통명사 이런 식으로 시작해가지고 이제 지금 주로 얘기하고 있는 대목이 그 페르시아만이라는 그 이름함이 이제 아라비아만이라고 불러줘야 된다는 거. 그러나 그렇게 안 불러진 것에 대한 여러 가지 설명이 있었습니다. 그게 아까 말씀드렸던 대로 알렉산더 대왕의 원정에서부터 시작해가지고 유럽 사람들이 결국 그 페르시아 쪽을 거쳐서 아시아, 남아시아로 여행을 했기 때문에 그리고 그 우리가 잘 아는 마르코폴로 여행도 결국 그때는 이게 남쪽이 사막이었기 때문에 결국 그때의 지명이 페르시아, 이란밖에는 없었기 때문에 지금까지 그대로 쓰여졌다가 이제 그 1960년부터는 이제 아랍 사람들이 그 자국의 그 민족주의 정신이나 센티멘트도 생겼고, 그래서 이제 그 아라비안 그 여기서 지리적인 이름으로 그 아라비아만 이렇게 나왔습니다만 이제 최근에는 그 그것도 이제 그 충돌을 피하기 위해서 페르시아, 이란과는 달리 그래서 그냥 걸프만이라고 그냥 고유명사로서의 걸프를 이제 씀으로써 그 이란과 지금 그 아라비아만을 둘러싸고 있는 8개 나라 중에 유일하게 이제 이란만 아랍 나라가 아니라고 그러고 페르시아 사람이라고 얘기하는 거에 대한 설명이 지금까지 쭉 있었습니다. 물론 역사적인 거나 그 해안선의 길이로 보나 자원이나 물론 아직도 사람은 이란이 그 지금 다른 7개 아랍 나라를 다 합한 것보다는 많습니다만은 지금 그 평화를 찾기 위해서 결국은 이 지명을 그냥 그 고유명사로서의 만을 쓰고 있다는 거. 그러나 아랍 나라들은 자기들이 그 아랍의 만이라고 부르기를 원하고 아직도 그 어느 정도의 그 민족적인 감정이 남아 있습니다만은 아랍 사람들 자신도 1960년까지는 그것을 페르시아만으로 그 유럽 사람들을 흉내내서 그렇게 해왔다는 거. 그러나 자기 그 결론은 이런 이름이 나라와 나라와의 분쟁이나 지역과 지역 간의 분쟁을 도발할 필요가 없다는 거. 그래서 평화적인 이름을 만들어 써야 된다는 거가 그 이유지입니다. 다 잘 알아두셨겠지만 혹시 아브도 교수에게 드릴 질문이나 있으시면 영어로든가 영어가 불편하시면 한 우리말로 질문을 던져주시면 제가 통역을 해드리겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you.
Yeah. I make a very short, quick presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
하나 질문 좀 합니다. Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
I heard your presentation very, strongly. It's very nice presentation, but
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, still the Iranian use the Persian Gulf or they also accept the Arabian Gulf?
The Iranians use Persian Gulf,
They use Persian
but they use Persian Gulf, and most European countries until now use Persian Gulf.
So it's a,
But in fact, since the 1960s, the big progress have been achieved. Now, the whole Arab world since then use Arabian Gulf. Nobody protests against that at all. And with the companies and all over the world, we use the same. Many atlases now use Arabian Gulf. As I said, the BBC now web service started to use the Gulf. That means it's not using the Persian Gulf anymore. So you cannot really tell Iran what to use, but you can control the name you use yourself. And as I said, because this place is beyond your sovereignty, beyond a single sovereignty. So you have to expect that other countries might have different points of views.
what about the government, the Saudi Arabian government have take this problem to the United Nations?
No,
As I understand,
no. We
No,
always
no.
have avoided to do that, in fact. But mainly because it's a Saudi Arabia in particular, and most of the Arab Gulf countries always try not to be controversial, not to bring controversial issues, because sometimes if you win, that you win, but then if you lose, then you cannot use the name you want to use. But as we see it, the trend is going towards changing the name from Persian Gulf into Arabian Gulf. The change is being done slowly, without the need to go.
From the Arabian Gulf to the Gulf. Is not the trend?
It is also the trend, but it is okay. The main thing for us, in fact, we don't want to use Persian Gulf. Why? As I said, we didn't mind to use this name before. But when Iran started to exploit this name for political gains, then the main thing we want to achieve is not to use Persian Gulf. So if we can use Arabian Gulf, it is the best we want. Then if we can use the Gulf, it's okay. But not Persian Gulf.
So international, there's no any.
There is no
any
international
particular
name for these
of
places.
Just one name. You use both name, Arabian and Persian Gulf.
No,
right?
we use only Arabian.
You Arabian don't use Persian Gulf.
Never.
But,
No.
but they use Arabian Gulf. But
Oh.
Iranian use
Persian.
Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some Europeans now, when they deal with us, they use Arabian Gulf. When they deal with Iran, they use Persian Gulf. When they want to be neutral, either they use the Gulf, or I showed you Arabian Persian Gulf, or Persian Arabian Gulf.
Okay. So it's a kind of conflict.
Yes.
The conflict names can't you take to the United Nations? And my question is right now is this: whether you know there's any regulation to fix the conflict names
yes.
of the international?
Yeah, thank you. As far as I know, every country is responsible for naming places which under its sovereignty, under its rules. So, if I name Riyadh as Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, then this is the official name which has to be accepted by all countries of the world and by the United Nations, because this is a place within my country. But if there is a place not within the authority of my government, we share the authority with other nations, the United Nations prefer that you agree with the others who share that place with you, and reach a conclusion, reach a name which satisfies all of you, whether there are 2 parties, 3 parties, 4 parties. If not, as far as I know, that United Nations until now tries not to go into these problems. Not to go into these problems. But, of course, what you can do, you can influence communication with the United Nations by supplying materials and information using your name, the name you prefer. So you don't say to the United Nations, you have to approve, give me your seal and approve this my name. But when you deal with them, give them information to make them aware why you are using this name. And gradually you may succeed in changing the name. Gradually, you have to do it gradually, not to be aggressive.
Not in your knowledge, Saudi Arabia or the other Arab state of the Gulf submitted a petition to the United Nations to change the name formally.
No. Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know. I think we have been doing this very smoothly. You know, the Western countries mainly, they look after their interest. If their interest with you, they will use the name you want. If their interest with the other side, they use the name the other side you want. And there are major things which control names, international names. What are they? Not the United Nations. The major media and atlas producers. So if the BBC use a certain name, or CNN use a certain name, or the United States Board of Geographical Names use a certain name, because the United States Board of Geographical Names, they have official name for every place inside the United States and outside the United States. So if you can supply materials to the United States Board of Geographical Names, convince them, you cannot dictate on them. You can give them the materials, as I showed today, history and geography and so on, will support, and the feeling of our people, for example, will support the usage of this name. If they are convinced, if the United States Board of Geographical Names convinced and change this, approve, for example, Arabian Gulf instead of Persian Gulf, then any official publication in America has to use Arabian Gulf. If it approves Persian Gulf, then any official document in the United States has to use Persian Gulf. You can convince people who are making the name international. Who is making the name international? The major media, the major atlas makers, and the major name bodies like the U.S. Board of Geographical Names.
These members of this society for the East Sea,
Yeah.
they are mainly concerned on that map. There should be one name on the East Sea, or now Japanese people put the Japan Sea. there is some sort of a amount of unfairness to the other Asian neighboring countries, and that's why maybe this group is trying to make its maximum effort to change the name from the Japan Sea to the East Sea. I don't have a feeling that you or Arab state is going to push that far to change the name from Persian Gulf to the Arabian Gulf.
No, we already changed for our use. Already changed in the 60s.
Yes.
For our use, for people
the
who
world
deal,
use.
we cannot control the world. But for the people who work with us, have business interest with us, if you contract with a Korean company, for example, or British company, and we have documents, we don't accept a document without Arabian Gulf. And then because of their interest, and this is how the name becomes international. I tell you, within your country and my country, we might have an official name people don't use. You have to convince people to use the name. This is the name. In many places, in some of our streets in Riyadh, the government issues, we want to name this street so and so. But people name it another thing. And sometimes nobody knows the official name of the place. They know what people use. So, you should concentrate on the usage of the name. Try to spread the usage of the name Eastern Sea as much as you can. And you have many ways to do that.
지금 그 얘기한 가운데 정부가 도큐먼트를 억셉트를 하지 않았다는 얘기가 나오는데 그 얘기는 정부가 그 아라비안 걸프라는 이름을 쓰도록 강요한 게 아닌가 봅니다.
지금 이 아브도 교수 얘기는 아랍 나라들은 다 아랍만이라고 얘기를 하고 그렇게 쓰고 있지만은 이제 제3자인 서구 세계에서는 이제 아랍을 상대할 때는 아랍만이라고 얘기를 하고 이란하고 상대를 할 때는 그걸 또 이란의 만이라고 하는 거에 대해서 자기는 뭐 크게 그렇게 분노하거나 하는 게 없고 결국은 여러분들이 그 동해라는 말을 쓰길 원한다면은 그 이름이 일본 해보다는 더 훌륭한 이름이고 제3자가 받아들일 수 있는 이름이라는 것을 세계에다가 가능한 한 많이 퍼뜨리고 사람들로 하여금 그거를 믿게 하고 신뢰하게 하는 거 그거가 자기가 생각하는 거고 자기가 알기로는 지금 어느 아랍 나라나 사우디아라비아가 유나이티드 네이션에 이런 지금 페티션을 제출한 게 없는 걸로 자기는 안다고 얘기해요. No, Dr. Lee had maybe some part. Maybe I was missing part of it, but Dr. Lee said the Saudi Arabian government made a petition to change from the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Gulf to the third body like United Nations. 그게 질문이요?
그 아라비안 거버먼트가 아까 도큐먼트를 억셉트를 하지 않았다 그랬거든요. 아라비안 걸프라고 쓰질 않으면은
뭐 사우디 아라비아나 다른 the Saudi Arabia and the other 7 other Gulf states, Arab states, formally use the Arabian Gulf, as in the official government document.
Oh yes, all the Arab countries. Not only Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states.
Oh, yeah,
all the Arab countries, we have 22 Arab countries, all of them use Arabian Gulf.
And
their official
the
use.
urges to other nations or their peoples to
Other
use
nations,
that.
they don't care.
Yeah.
Only one nation, that's only, the protest only from Iran. Other people, they don't care. Arab Gulf or Persian Gulf, it doesn't matter for them.
이 교수 얘기가 맞는 거죠. 결국 그 사우디아라비아와 그 다른 6개의 만에 걸쳐 있는 그 아랍 나라들은 공식적으로 정부 문서에나 공식 명칭을 페르시아만이라는 말을 다 폐지하고 아라비아만으로 쓰기로 돼 있다는 거. 그거는 이미 공식적으로 그 모든 아랍 그 걸프만에 있는 나라들이 그렇게 받아들였다는 것을 다시 확인한 겁니다.
I want to, excuse me, I want to summarize this. You must insist on the name you prefer. Insist on the usage of it when you deal, whether with the United Nations or with any company or with any other country.